Hello, everyone. It is December 13th. We are at Commandant's Corner. The topic of discussion tonight will be Facebook training. Some other social medias will be touched upon, but for the most part, we are going to be giving a very brief tutorial on Facebook, hitting some of the highlights, the do's and the don'ts. Our keynote speaker tonight will be Ray Morrell, and I'll introduce him in a moment. Commandant Baker, our National Commandant, could not be with us tonight. I do see that we have the Senior Vice Commandant on board, and I'd like to ask him, please, to say a couple of opening remarks. Senior Vice.
Hello, Victoria. Thank you very much. First, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for the next couple of weeks. We're going to be very active with that. The topic tonight is not just timely for right now, but for our whole future with the Marine Corps League. This is a way to interact with people, both members of the Marine Corps League and Marines who are not members of the Marine Corps League, general public, getting the word out as to what the Marine Corps League is all about. I think a lot of people, when a statement is made, oh, I didn't realize the Marine Corps League did that, or what is the Marine Corps League? That falls upon us to get our word out. And we've been doing a great job the past few years in developing that. We have to continue it. And there's a lot of people that weren't aware of what the Marine Corps League did, including the Commandant of the Marine Corps, who now is more aware of what we do. We do an awful lot of good, so there's nothing wrong with bragging about the good that we do. Thank you, Victoria, for putting this on, and Ray, thank you very much for taking the time to instruct us all. As Scott was saying, a lot of us are not as savvy as others, so you'll be able to savvy us up. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir, for those opening remarks. Again, our guru, our go-to guy is Ray Morrell. And at this time, I am going to pass the reins over to him. Ray Morrell, go ahead and introduce yourself and get this party started.
Greetings all. Honored to be asked to present this information for you. A little bit of background about myself. I've been in public relations and marketing since I was about 13 years old. I'm currently 55, so it's a little over 40 years of experience working with public relations. I'm actually a trained crisis communicator. I've been doing all sorts of public relations and like I said, marketing for many, many years. I do like to emphasize in guerrilla marketing, if you're familiar with that term. If not, feel free to look it up. But basically, guerrilla marketing is learning how to get the biggest bang for your costs and go where people aren't going. So that's where my mind goes sometimes when I come into social media. When it comes to social media particularly, I got started 13 years ago when my oldest daughter got her first Facebook account, and I felt the need to have to babysit her because she tends to wander off sometimes. But since that time frame, in 13 years, I find myself managing right now, it's 9 different Facebook pages, 20 different Facebook groups, 5 Instagram accounts, 2 YouTube channels, 2 LinkedIn accounts, and everything except for the partridge in the pear tree. I spend probably 5 hours a day managing the various social media aspects. So it seems like it's a lot, but actually it's a lot of fun. The stuff that I can see, the stuff that I glean off of that really helps me making sure that our social media is that much more robust. Now, I got to clarify, I'm not a social media guru. It's more that I've been playing this game for a lot of years. I learned what doesn't work. I learned what does work, and I learned what works much gooder, and being able to employ those accordingly. Personally, again, I've been a member of the Marine Corps League since 2014. I'm a former detachment commandant, department commandant, worthy pack leader. I serve on the National Populations Committee, serve on the National Honor Guard and Color Guard Committee. Been with the National Training Committee for a few years before, and also served with Wendell Webb as disaster coordination liaison. But enough of the cordialities. Let's get to work. So, if you will, now Victoria commented as far as how to access some of the controls in the Zoom. So we're going to do a little practice session here. So if you remember, go to the bottom of your screen, take your mouse, scroll to the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a box that says reactions. If you click on that, and it's the same thing if you're working off of a phone. or at least an iPhone. But go ahead, if you are managing your detachment or your department or your division Facebook presence, go ahead and raise your hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Roughly, no, using your buttons. Because if you're waving your hand, I don't see it until I look at your actual face. But using the buttons, so there's about 15 of you that are managing your detachment, department, division Facebook presence. So here's the next question. Again, using the commands on Zoom. So down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a box. Wave your cursor, you see a box that says reactions. Click on that, you'll see the option to raise your hand. Okay, so raise your hand if your Facebook presence is as a group, if you know that. So just a handful there. How about if you know if your presence is as an actual business page?
Pardon me. Approximately 17 on the count.
Okay. Okay. So what we're going to touch on here is basically it's a Facebook 101. Now, if you're well versed in Facebook, that's great. That's fabulous. I might ask for your input as we get towards the end of this, but my focus is just a basic overview, a basic cursory approach on Facebook. So with that, the information at this session, what I plan to provide is what is social media, why the focus on Facebook, what are the various formats Facebook provides its users, how to set up a Facebook business page for your detachment, for your department, and we'll go into that here in a little bit too, how to provide or monitor your content for your Facebook page, how to create and manage Facebook events, and then a touch on Facebook advertising. Now, I ask that you also please hold your questions to the end. And reason being is that chances are I might cover what your question is as we progress through this. So the first start is, and this ties in with Mel's question here right off the get-go. We're going to touch into that here in a little bit. The first question is, what is social media? So general terminology, or using Webster's dictionary, websites and applications that enable users to create and share content to participate in social networking. Social media is an internet-based form of communication. Social media platforms allow users to have conversation, share information, and create web content. So in that, or small group discussions. In that sense, you're coming into a social media platform where that communication, that networking is all done via computer. That could be as a blog, it could be as Facebook, it could be as YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. There's so many other options that are out there. So basically, in a layperson term, your social media is an opportunity for a business, and we'll call the Marine Corps League a business. Your social media is an opportunity for a business to create your own broadcast station. And your focus is try to get as many people to tune into your channel, if that makes sense. So again, using the channels that we have at our disposal is, like I mentioned, Facebook. The audience of Facebook right now is roughly 2.9 billion people. YouTube audience is 2.2 billion people. YouTube is actually the second largest web search domain. That's why we're pushing a lot of information through YouTube also. Instagram has an audience of roughly 2 billion people. And then I mentioned LinkedIn, if you're familiar with that application, that has an audience of a little over 800 million. There's several other apps that are out there. There's what's called WhatsApp. You got Messenger. Some of you are familiar with that. Some of you are familiar with Snapchat or TikTok or Parler. There's so many other considerations that are out there. But again, we're just going to focus just on Facebook and touching on these other ones too. Now, for the Marine Corps League Facebook page, national Facebook page, I don't know when it actually started, but I do know, looking into the insights on it, roughly about May of 2019 is when reporting first got documented for that page. Okay. I had the privilege of taking over the page in August 4 of 2019 and been serving as maintenance person on that since then. So back then, give you an impression of what we can do with Facebook. The Marine Corps League National Facebook page in 2019 had 4,460 followers, or in that mark. Right now, we have 22,425 followers as of about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I know there's been more since then. When we look at a reach of Facebook, what that means is when you make a post and you react on that post and your friends see that you react on that post, that's what your reach is. So the friends of friends that see what you do create a reach for your business page. At its height, which was right around the time of the Marine Corps birthday, our Facebook page, our national Facebook page, had a reach of over 250 million people. The power of social media can be grand. Okay. With that, our national Facebook page, we follow 874 other Facebook pages, of which include 500 plus local detachment pages and every possible department and division page that's out there. Of course, you only got 50 states. We know who those are. We search for them. We try to follow them. 10 divisions, same thing. We also follow 28 Facebook groups within the national Facebook page. That, again, also includes many departments and divisions that have that type of a presence. And then as far as Instagram, Instagram, at the beginning, we had roughly 200 followers. We're currently with 2,751 followers. And again, there too, we also follow 209 other Instagram accounts to include many detachments that have their own Instagram pages. YouTube, which again, we just really got into that platform. I don't remember exactly if that was just shy of a year now. But right now we are at 523 subscribers to our YouTube channel. If you are not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, it's very simple. It doesn't cost you a dime, just a little bit of time. Log on to YouTube, search for the Marine Corps League. You'll see a little box that says subscribe, click subscribe. What that will do is as we post videos, just like Facebook does, as we post videos, you'll get notification on that. And the videos can be whatever they may be. So the focus on Facebook is, like I said, it's more of a community broadcast station. It allows you to focus your audience to what you have to play for, or what you have to present for your activity. Facebook, of course, allows you to post content for photos, text, photo albums, videos, live feeds. I don't know if many of you play with live feeds, but you can do that. But again, the question, which goes back up to what Mel was asking, Mel Ellingson, which is better an approach, a group or a page? Well, the need to understand is what is a profile, because quite honestly, there's a lot of Facebook detachments that have Facebook pages that are actually individual profiles. I don't advise that, only because I don't need you friending me, knowing all my inner workings that I'm throwing out there on Facebook. Plus, it also limits you with your capability of what you can do with Facebook, because you're only a profile page, like an individual person. You have a Facebook group. So the focus of the Facebook group is, again, like what we have here. This is a group. It's a group of people that have the same interest on a specific activity. We'll look at the Marine Corps League Connections Facebook page, or Facebook group, I'm sorry, 2,100, whatever other number in there. Those are people that have like interest, and you can share synergies independently within a group. But a Facebook page, a business page, and that's where the Marine Corps League National Facebook page is. It's your billboard. It allows the entire world to see your presence, because it can serve as a website. The detractors are pages. When you post to a page, you got dynamics on there with, well, we'll get into the algorithms. We'll touch on that in a little bit too. But whether it's a profile, whether it's a page, your algorithms will restrict what your audience will see. And it's because there's a mass amount that's out there, and they're trying to hone in on what they think your likes and wants to see are. But other advantages with a Facebook business page is you can reach that global market. You can create groups within your Facebook page. You can create events. So if you're doing your Marine Corps ball, you're doing a special fundraiser, whatever, you can create an event, get it out there to the public, and get them to support your event. You can advertise within your social media parameters. Those are all functions that are within a business page. One of the detractors are, it does require work. As I said, I spend probably 5 hours a day on it. You can still like, follow, share, comment as a page. But again, make sure that you're aware of what you're saying and where you're saying it, because you're still representing the Marine Corps League. That's something that that's one reason why we monitor all the Facebook pages, is because we look, not so much that we look for concerns, we look for what other detachments are doing, and we find concerns. We find derogatory statements, we find derogatory images, or whatever the case may be, and we contact that page and say, hey, here's what we see, this is where our concern is, would you please address it? 9.9 times out of 10, they do. So again, the focus of what is better, if you're trying to promote your detachment, if you want to use it for recruitment, for awareness, for what you're doing in your community, if you're not having a business page, you are missing a mark. 100%, you're missing a mark. But in the same breath, having a group is also important. So as a local detachment commandant, and even as a department commandant, I set up 2 different Facebook groups. One was just for my members and their spouses. That was it. I did not open it up beyond that. And the focus on that was just so we can have our own social media communication going on, and it was just relevant to the detachment. I did the same thing on the department side for my department members. So if there's something important I wanted to share, or they wanted to share, there was a group solely just for that membership that we can share to. But then I also created another group, and I know there's a couple on here that have done this as well. I want to network into other Marines within my region. So I created a Facebook group that was specifically for Marines. The page was also an administrator. So when I could post either as myself or as the page, if I wanted to promote to these other Marines what's going on. And again, what that does is soft sells the Marine Corps League and informs them of other things that they're doing and invites them to come aboard. So that's where you can lay the difference between a page and a group. A page is your broadcast medium that allows you to really hit the global audience. And again, looking at a business page is basically public. So you don't even need to have a Facebook account. If you were to search for that page, you can pull it up on the web and be able to see what's going on. So a number of businesses use a page to promote their activities. And again, for the group, remembering what that does as far as focusing the conversation to that controlled group. So bear with me here. I'm going to do a share my screen. So this is the Marine Corps League Facebook page. A couple things I want to hit on is our likes. So we look at all the pages that we follow. And this is just to start with that. The important thing here is when you're setting up your page, make sure that your page name is relevant. So as you can see here, there's a big diversity of how detachments name their pages. If you were to search, if you didn't know who this was, would you know what it is by their name? making sure that your name for your Facebook page is relevant to who you are. We actually have a very, very, very strong suggestion from the public relations side, and that is to set up your Facebook page as, Victoria, if you want to type this in real quick, please. Set it up as MCL dash whatever your detachment name is. So Sunny Hills Detachment number 123. What that does, it creates a unified approach. This goes back to marketing and branding. It creates a unified approach to search, so people can identify the Marine Corps League easier. And again, this is our request, is that you change your detachment name for your Facebook page, MCL dash Lewis Wayne Qualls Detachment number 1249. So that creates a consistent presentation. The other thing too is making your page verified. So this little blue check mark here, what that does, again, in the era of scamming, what this does, it verifies your page as authentic. The steps to do this, if I can move this screen here. Oops. The steps to do this, well, I'll short term here. Everywhere in Facebook, you have a search box, whether you're in a Facebook group or in your own page, you can still search within a page if there's something that you want to look for. So I'm doing a search for Facebook as a whole for verified. How to get your Facebook page verified. That's not what I'm after here. But it gives you step by step on what you need to do to get your pages verified. So to do that, will get you that little checkbox next to your name that shows that you are an authentic Facebook page and not a scam page. When I'm looking at other pages, I actually look for that to see if it's a spam page or not, because when you get 22,000 followers, you'd be amazed at how many comments from spammers you have to purge through. So the other thing too is when you're dealing with your page is making sure that you have more than one person that maintains the Facebook page. For the Marine Corps League Public Relations Committee, we all have access to the page. As Victoria mentioned, I do 99% of all the posting on the page, but if something were to ever happen to me, there is automatically somebody that has the roles, the authorities to come in and assign other people. All too often, there's only one person that maintains a Facebook page, one person that has the authority to change, to edit, to delete, to whatever. If something ever happens to that person, they get dead or they get upset and they leave, that page is gone. You have no control over that page. And it's happening too often. So if you do not have at least 2 people that maintain your Facebook page, you're missing an opportunity to, while you're missing an opportunity to go dead, but you're also missing the opportunity to continue to promote. So again, on a department level, I had myself and another person. We set our postings up in a time frame so we didn't overlap each other. I posted from this time to this time. The other person posted from that time to that time. What that did, it kept the page vibrant. It kept the posts active out there, which increased our followers. So that particular page that started it with 40 some members, within a year had over 2,500 followers on. Because again, it's all in how you keep the page active.
Ray, I'm going to interrupt for 1 minute.
Yes.
Just wanted to point out to everybody, Ray has his Facebook share screen right now live. If you notice a lot of things happening on the bottom left-hand side of the corner, that Robert Slover just he reacted to something and 98 other people, 1,000 other people, that is the magic of Facebook. We are reaching people right now as we're in a meeting. Sorry, Ray, go on.
Yep. I apologize for that detraction, but that is very true. And that shows how active our Facebook page is. So again, when you set up your page, your business page, and for those that already have your business page set up, if you do not have more than 2 people or at least 2 people, I'd strongly encourage you start thinking who those other people are that understand social media, understand marketing, understand public relations, and invite them to assist in managing your page. Okay. Back to the page itself, again, when you're setting it up, this is your cover. This area here, if you can see the cursor move, the mouse move, this is called your cover photo. And here it says, edit your cover photo. Have your cover photo relevant to the Marine Corps League. This you can change. So if I were to open it up like here and I can thumb through, some of you already know this. This is all the previous cover photos that we've been using through time. But again, your cover photo is one of the first images that person sees when they log on to your Facebook page. That, along with your profile picture. Again, making sure that that's relevant for the Marine Corps League. And I say this because what I find, and I think many of you can agree to this as you start scrolling through your Facebook pages, your feed, you see a lot of Marine Corps League detachments that push nothing but Marine Corps, and that's fabulous. But what is that doing for your awareness? And what is that doing for your recruitment? If all you're pushing out is Marine Corps, Marine Corps, Marine Corps, where's the Marine Corps League? Again, we're looking at marketing. We're looking at branding. We're looking at public relations. So when you go through setting up your page, these are all things that you want to actually, Facebook will step you through each of these components when you're setting up your page. Upload your cover photo, upload your profile photo, upload your about section. So if you look at here too, we have a small intro for who we are. So if you know the term search engine optimization, these are words that are in your website, words that are in your Facebook page, words that are in your blog or whatever you're using, that your search engines, Google, YouTube, whomever, will search for. The spiders within the web that look for this, they find those search words, and that's what helps pull your listing to the top of the search option that you're after. In your about section, that's where you put in your information of who you are, what community, what region, what state. Put that information in there. A lot of people do a copy and paste of the old, and I emphasize the old Marine Corps League mission statement. The Marine Corps League mission statement is this one here. This is the new one that's been adopted 2 years ago. Anyway, a lot of folks will use the old 7-paragraph version of the mission statement. It gets boring. No one's going to read it. Short, sweet, to the point. Get the proper information that'll identify who you are. If you're the Kentuckian detachment, wonderful. Where is the Kentuckian detachment? Putting that information in your about section. Identifying yourself as a nonprofit or a veteran service organization. It depends on what Facebook will allow you for. Put your address information in there, your phone number if you have it. Put that information in there. That will help people find your page, or more so, if they're interested in you, they click on about and they learn more about you. Because if you notice, what we do in Marine Corps League National Facebook page is we've been sharing for a couple of years now, sharing what our local detachments do. And we use hashtags when we do that. Hashtags are another form of search. You can follow a hashtag. So when somebody makes a post on that hashtag, you'll get a notification so you can check it out. The hashtag we use when we share from a detachment is Detachments in Action. And that's one of the main reasons why we follow those 500 some odd Facebook pages from local detachments. We want to share the good that they do. But in the same breath, I'm going to digress here a little bit. In that same breath, what we want to share is the detachment, because we want to help you bring more awareness on a global spectrum. We want to drive people to your detachment Facebook page. Or if it's a department, I use the hashtag departments at work. Because again, it shares the activity that you do. And the other element for digressing here is I can go back in some of the larger Marine Corps veteran groups where you got 200,000 people in one veteran group. If you mentioned something about the Marine Corps League 2 years ago, it was 90% negative. That's huge. When you got 200,000 people following a group and somebody makes a post about a Marine Corps League and 90% of it was a negative response, that was unsat. Today, it is 90% positive. Why? You tell me. I'd say it's because we got a lot of people out there that are using social media to promote what they do. Again, social media, Facebook, Instagram, they are your billboards to market to your community, however large that community is. Get to my next page here. So that kind of leads into what to post. So I'm going to scroll down here. So obviously this was, we just changed our Facebook profile picture. So that shows up there. 100 people reacted to that in what, 3 hours ago already. 10 comments. But look at what we post. So it's Christmas time. I have a lot of posts that I reserve for Christmas that garner tremendous response. This one here was a poem for the corpsmen. So over 1,000 reactions, 673 shares. I posted that this morning. So looking at what you post, here's an example, detachments in action. This is a detachment in Missouri that a member wasn't able to set up their house for Christmas decorations, so the detachment members did. 161 reactions on that. And then comments. But again, what you post makes a world of difference that gets people to react to your content. And that's what you're after. I'll be blunt here. I've seen somebody make a Facebook post on their page. This has been a couple years ago. They were just frustrated because nobody's commenting or reacting to their posts, and they're going to terminate the Facebook page. But yet you look at their page, you only had 15 followers. So that's a lack of understanding of how to execute your social media. So your text, I would, if you're doing something with text, if it's just text only, put it in your perspective. For those of you that look at your Facebook page regularly, you know, every morning when you're doing your morning routine, you're thumbing through your page. If you see something with text, more than likely you're going to pass right by it. So keep that in mind when you're making posts on your page. Photos, video. If you have an event going on, do a live feed from that event and working it, meaning don't just throw the video out there, record the video with no audio. Give feedback. What are you doing? Where are you at? What is the action steps that you want your people to do? If you want them to show up and support, say that, explain that. That is marketing. So again, looking at what you post will help bring your audience to your page. And again, I remind folks the difference between posting nothing but Marine Corps, and I'm not saying don't. What I'm saying is if you're posting Marine Corps, make it relevant to the Marine Corps League. Bridge that gap, bring it across so that it brings that connection of who the Marine Corps League is and why the connection with the Marine Corps. Promote your detachment's accomplishments. Promote your detachment. And again, looking at another thing that I do on Sundays, Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon, I'll throw some sort of a motivational quote. Some of these are unbelievable as what the responses are. We're pushing 13,000 reactions and still growing. Or here's a post supporting the Marine Corps League Foundation. So making it relevant to your detachment to the Marine Corps League as a whole, or your department. Let your community know who you are, what you do, but most importantly, why you do it. Because that's where you can get that recruitment opportunity out of it. You make that connection with the heart. If you're doing events, and again, for the national page, we will any department conference, department convention, any division conference, division convention, we will grab it and share it to our events page, but also our own events. And I'll click on this here. So when you're working events, market them. And we'll tap into this in a little bit down the road here yet. But are your events open to the public? Use your social media to push that information out. When to post. And again, looking at when do you look at your Facebook? Oftentimes we're doing it in the morning. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and before I even get ready to do my morning routine, I'm sitting in my chair with my cup of coffee, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm scrolling Facebook. I'm specifically looking for inspiration to post. When do you look at your Facebook page? Is it in the morning? Is it over lunchtime? Is it, you got a break during your morning routine? Maybe you're working, maybe it's evening time. When do you look at your Facebook page, your feed, and look at that as to when other people might look at it? And that's when you want to consider posting. That's how you grab that algorithm right away and be able to ride that surf, if you will. Do you have an upcoming activity? Post about it, promote it. Again, creating an event for it, promote it. Understand that people like email. You don't check your email every single day. Well, people don't check their Facebook every single day. We know that. So if there is an event or an activity that you want to promote, there's nothing that says you can't promote it multiple times. Okay. So using marketing skills to push your events out there. And again, when we come into the algorithms, so this little thing that many people aren't aware of, when you post on a Facebook page or even your profile page, you might have 200 friends on your personal page, or in this case, we've got 22,000 followers on our business page. Facebook will only show your post to less than 5% of who are following your page. Less than 5% see each post, if even. It's the algorithms within Facebook. So that's where you strive to keep your page active. By active, at least one post a day, and maybe 2-3 times a day. Because what that does is increases your propensity, your capability to be seen. But also making sure that you're posting relevant information. Making sure that you're not posting, again, we all understand Facebook community standards. They look for that. If you are posting fake news, if you're posting derogatory statements, Facebook will shut you down. So being aware what you're posting and getting the likes, getting the reactions, that will increase your capability of being seen. And then when you're being seen and you're getting those reactions, it quite honestly, it is your job, whomever maintains your social media, it is your job to monitor the comments, monitor the posts, monitor what people are saying, because just in this one alone, I spent a lot of time today purging spam, because stuff will just pop up and you see it and you track it down a little bit. So again, you can block people from your page. You can delete comments. It is very, I won't say it's common, but every so often, so we'll have a post talking about a certain activity or an event, and all of a sudden somebody throw a comment on there saying, hey, where can I get a red blazer? Well, it has no relevancy to the comment or to the original post. So we'll ask the person to message the page or communicate with that person somehow, and I'll delete the comment so it doesn't go sidetrack on us.
Ray, I'm going to
What's that?
need to reel you in. We're 45 minutes into it, so we got to open up some.
Yep, I'm finishing up here right quick. So again, when you get the reactions, how you can increase your reach or your followers, you click on this, wherever your reactions are, that opens up. You see this end here. You click on any of these to invite them to like your page. Very simple. Very simple. But again, getting into your Facebook events, when you're doing an event, fill in the blanks. Paint the picture of what it is that event is. Because if you're trying to sell tickets or you're trying to promote attendance, you want them to understand what the event is. So making sure your imagery is right, making sure that your content is right. And just like this event is too, keep active within the event. Post relevant information within the event. That makes those people that you invite to the event keep in their newsfeed. And then when you get into actual advertising with Facebook, you can promote your events, and obviously we're running out of time, so we can touch on that a little bit or separately. But you can boost your event, you can boost your post, you can boost your page. But again, you need to ask the questions. Is it relevant? What am I going to get out of it? How much money do I want to spend? Who's my audience? There's tools within Facebook that allow you to hone in on that and step you through. But again, making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons and not just because. But again, going back to a Facebook group versus a Facebook page, for a detachment and for a department, if you're not doing both, I think you're missing an opportunity to make proper connections on either side of the fence. Your page, again, is to promote it to your broad audience. Your, get back here. Your, lost my train of thought. But your Facebook group is that closed communication for the people of a specific audience. Your Facebook page is your broadcast tool to your community and allows them to understand who you are, what you do, why you do it, and encourage them to be a part of who you are as well. With that, bottom line, Facebook is a good tool. It allows you to reach a broad spectrum. It allows you to reach your home crowd to promote, to get your message out. But you have a responsibility of knowing how to execute, how to effectively execute with active, relevant content that generates a positive image for the greater organization, which also impacts your local detachment. But again, you also have to follow through with the needs of the page. This includes people that message your page, follow up with them. Questions?
Real quick, Ray, before you stop the share screen, can you show everybody how to invite people that have reacted to your post, please?
Yes, I did that a little bit earlier. So if you have a post, you see when you like, you love, you care, you cry, whatever, you click on that as the page, that opens up. Here's all the people that you can invite. There was a time when I would actually click on every one of these people and confirm if they are an actual human being before I send them an invite. That's why none of these are invited yet. But that's how you do it. And that's one reason how you can increase your page reaction. On a local detachment page, hone in on a local activity here. So my local detachment page, I started out with 32 people. Within a year and a half, I had over 2,300 followers, half of which are from my hometown. So when I'm having an event, I had a built-in audience that I can market to.
All right, Ray, go ahead and stop the share screen. There is a lot that Ray just threw at you. That is for sure. Ray always makes himself available to answer questions when he can. We do have lots of questions coming in. I've got questions coming in private chat. Ray, you got the share screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the, where's it at again?
Up top. Hover across the top, you'll see a little thing that says stop share screen. All right, so at this time, I'm going to keep the recording going. Most of the best information you're going to get is going to be coming from these questions from everybody in the room. Just so you know, we do have 65 people in the room to help monitor the room. Virtually raise your hand and I will take the questions in order. If I cannot answer them, of course, Ray will answer them. And if nobody can answer them, we'll get those answers to you. So hang on a second. I'm going to help Ray get out of there. Let me see if I can. I got it.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Okay, so again, 64 people are online right now. And I hope each one of these 64 people who have heard something, they took something, they will be taking one thing away. Some questions that came in through my private chat. What happens when you get locked out? You had touched upon the, oh my goodness, you know, we only had one admin, they went rogue, they left me or something like that. Be honest with you, there's nothing you can do. You create
Yes, there is.
Stand by. I stand corrected. Ray,
Yes,
go
there
ahead.
is. The response might be limited, but message Facebook. Message Facebook and explain to them the circumstance. They may be able to get you back in. It depends on the circumstances.
If you do
Actually, that actually happened to me. And so I just kept posting to the thing, posting the thing, posting the thing. And then Facebook said, do you want to be the admin?
Thank you for that. I do have to ask, thank you for that feedback, but I do have to ask when you have something to share, please raise your hand. Again, there's a lot of people in the room. We can't overtalk each other. So thank you. That is a great feedback. Ray, you touched upon it perfectly. Had a circumstance where somebody passed away. They wanted to see a death certificate. You know, they are helping you out. So more questions are coming. The other question that I had actually was a comment that was happening, and that's why I probably missed a little bit. We were touching upon it. And this happens, and I'm going to keep this on the recorded session. Detachments don't want to post things because they get beat up, for lack of better words. You know, there are naysayers that are going to attack them for they're out of uniform, or look at that. You know, we had comments come in where somebody was talking about a beer belly, or, you know, it's just rude comments that come in. We can block those people from the page. We can make corrections to the uniforms. You know, there's a lot of things you could do, but primarily, if you have naysayers coming into your page, that is my advice to everyone. We don't need that kind of stuff in your page. So please, you know, just ask them to step away and you can block them. Again, if you need a tutorial on that, Ray will be happy to help you. So I'm going to start some more questions coming in. Michael, you are up first. Rosie, you are standing by. Go ahead, Michael, you have the floor.
Good evening, y'all. I set up a Facebook page for my detachment off of my personal Facebook page. My Facebook page was hacked and Facebook determined that it was non-compliant with their rules and they shut it down. They confiscated it. And so that also took away my detachment Facebook page. My question is, how do I start up a detachment page without attaching it to my personal page?
Go ahead, Ray.
One, you're going to start up a detachment page just like you would any business page would be. And again, you can definitely message me directly or send an email. I'll type it in here. Two ways you guys can get a hold of myself, Victoria, or anyone else in the Public Relations Committee. One, message the Marine Corps League National Facebook page. Two, send an email to the public relations email, and I just push that out there. Okay, but Facebook, if you were to click on start a new business page, Facebook will step you through. So you will identify yourself as a page administrator, but then also bring somebody else in as a page administrator. As I said earlier, you want to have no less than 2 people. The more, the merrier, because of circumstances where maybe you do get compromised, like this incident here. You can close out your personal page and not affect the business page, because again, what you are on the business page is a facilitator with total administrative roles. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Hope somebody else got an answer out of that. Rosie, you are up and there's no one on deck. If you have a question, please virtually raise your hand. We will get to you. Come on in, Rosie.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody, I set the page up for Lance Corporal Dean detachment. And like 2 weeks later, I got a message from Dean was killed in an accident at Camp Pendleton. And I got messages from 2 people that were in his, one was with him in the accident and the other one was served with him. And it was really nice being able to tell them how we got our detachment started. They wanted to know where he was buried and if we knew this, you know, the plot at Arlington. And so it was really nice. We've kept in contact with them. And I just think Facebook is such a great page to where, you know, you meet people that you don't really know. And they keep coming back and asking you more stuff about, you know, our detachment. And we've got new members from our Facebook page. So I think the page has really worked well for us.
That is a great testimonial. I do agree. You know, for those that are trying to recruit more people, if you notice, a lot of people have a problem with it, but if you notice in the diners and on the streets, people are bumping into you because their faces are in their phones. You know, that's where you're going to find your new members, on your social media platforms. So, you know, using these tools, that's a great testimonial, Rosie. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, the floor is open for more information. This time, I did get a private message. Since we have no questions standing on deck, Ray, can you share your screen one more time? A private question came in as to how do you add an administrator? How do you add a second administrator, a third, a fourth, even a fifth to your page? Can you just walk them through that, please?
Yes, let me get to the right page here. Move some screens around. Page access. I'll start over here. And Facebook changes things about every other month. So don't get frustrated if something's not there because they're trying to do things themselves. Go to your home page as you're logged in as your page. And I'm going to digress here real quick. Up here in the corner, I can click on this. That'll allow me to switch to all my different profiles. So I can be myself, I can be the page, be myself, be the page, whatever. Click on manage. And on a phone, it's going to look different because a phone is an application versus an actual internet-based. Page access. This is for the Marine Corps League National Facebook page. These are all the administrators on our Facebook page. You want to add somebody new. Over here, add new. It's going to make you log in again just to confirm that it's you. Then you enter in the person's name. If you're a Facebook friend, I think that is something that you have to be first. But if you're a Facebook friend, it makes it easier. You just type in their name, click OK, give them the page roles, hit save. They will receive an invite to be whatever role on that page. They will also have to log in to verify it's them before they can accept it. Does that answer the question?
I think it does. And if anybody needs a little bit more in-depth tutorial, again, we always make ourselves available. When he touched upon their roles, there are different roles that you can set up. You have a full admin that can do a little bit of everything. They're going to delete people. They can have full access. Then you have editors, you have modifiers, you have all of these different roles. So having someone to help you with the content and posting and approving posts and pictures, that's more of your moderator type situation. But full access to the page, that is your primary, secondary, and third admins. So you'll see when you go to give them a role, you'll see the different options, and they'll give you a short narrative as to what that role will actually entail. And I hope that answers the questions that have been coming in. I see no more hands up. I'm actually quite surprised. I thought that for sure we're going to get a whole bunch of people going, what am I doing next? What's wrong with Facebook? Oh, see,
Madam Chair.
I knew as soon as I did that. Okay, go ahead, Ray, and then we'll get Russell in there.
I'm just scrolling through some questions in the chat, and one of them was email or phone number. Do you use your detachment email? My suggestion, if you have a detachment email, yes, use it. You have a detachment telephone number, yes, use it. Because again, if something happens to you, who's going to take that call? Who's going to answer that email? So the answer is yes. Use your detachment department contact information.
If your detachment does not have a home, wherein the home would have that phone number, discuss options. That
Right.
there's going to be options. So you can always change it. You can edit it later. You can give the commandant's phone number today and change it later.
Or not even list the telephone number. That's perfectly fine, because you may want to encourage them to message the page.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take some raising of the hands, and then we see some stuff. Ray, can you answer what's happening over there in the chat? Russell, come on in and ask your question. Trish, you're on deck. You are muted, sir.
Sorry about that. Ray, how about the QR code to cross refer a Facebook page or two that you might have for your detachment or department to your website? As you know, we've got a very extensive website that shows all the activities we do and what it's all about in our history. And that's a steady, constant kind of a message. We like to remind people about what our detachment's all about. And then we, of course, have the flowing messages with the Facebook page. So we do a cross-reference with a QR code on our Facebook pages, posters, and flyers. So it takes them immediately over to our website so they get a full view of what we're all about.
Indeed, Russell, good point. Because again, when you look at our cover page, this little scribbled up, garbled up area, this is a QR code. If you were to take your phone and go to photos and zoom in on that like you're taking a picture of it, it'll prompt a dialog box to open up to a website. This QR code is to the Marine Corps League National Membership Committee website. But yes, very good point.
Okay.
Thank you, Russ.
Observation number 2, maybe I missed in your discussion or your remarks. We do a lot of posting on community Facebook pages. There are many groups in our township or a county in our area. And we're a small town, but in aggregate, I have the ability to post on pages with up to 200,000 so-called friends on those pages. Now let's, of course, assume there's 2 or 3 or 4 pages each or some of those people have. So maybe it takes me down to 30 or 40,000 possible exposures. So we do a lot of posting outside of the Marine Corps League sites as such, and the community. There's all kinds of 10, 20,000, 15,000 pages. The newspaper has them. The radio station has them.
Yes.
The Chamber of Commerce has them. We have
Yes.
Veterans Treatment Court that has a Facebook page. The radio station has 3 Facebook pages that we've asked for permission to post on. So there's all kinds of ways to reach the community outside of waiting for the community to come back to our post, which we believe in and we think are good. But we like to go out through the community's pages and reach as many as we can.
Yes, very much so. And again, that's why I emphasize the need to have a business page for your detachment or your department, because that way you could post as the page. So yes, very good point. I mentioned that earlier, but it got pushed to the side with other comments. So thank you.
Thank you for your
I
help.
also wanted to touch about something you said as regards to website. Something that I always talk about when I do speaking about this topic is a website is great, the history, the pictures, the photos, everything, but it's also something that people have to search for. Okay, they have to type in your web address or link or something, or use the QR code. A Facebook page, if they are following you, like they have liked your page, they could be sitting at supper and all of a sudden they're going to get a notification and their little butt's going to go buzzing and they're going to find out you have a new event. It's live, it's happening. They don't need to be sitting in front of the computer to go to it. So, having both is, I mean, you can't have enough tools in your toolbox. So great questions and great testimonials. All right, looks like, we lost the other person that had their hand up, and that's fine. We'll just keep moving along. Go ahead, William Cooley, as it reads, but we know Ms. Mike, come on in with your question.
All right, so I went to start a page just now, and one of the first questions says, what category best describes, and then it says it. But every category I could think of, Marine Corps League, Marine, USMC, anything like that, it won't let me put that in there. So what category do we use?
Your options, my first option would be going to a nonprofit, because again, if you have the ability to do fundraising, you're already classified as a nonprofit within Facebook realm. Okay, another consideration be and again, they changed it, and it's been a while since I've launched a new page, but a veteran service organization be another consideration.
Did that answer your question, Mike? You're muted.
Okay, so that answered my first question. My second question is, I kind of missed whenever you showed how to verify with the blue thumbs up. How do we do that?
Okay, we're gonna not revisit that. It is being recorded, so you can look at that a little bit later, or you can talk offline with Ray. We're just running out of time, and I want to get all these questions in. Somebody did ask in chat, they didn't figure out how to virtually raise their hand. I'll touch upon that one more time. If you hover across the bottom of your screen, you see reactions. Click on reactions, and one of those options is raise your hand. It's different on your cell phone, so of course, that's a little bit different. I'm on a PC. So one other thing I wanted to touch upon, and Ray did touch upon this already, the content that you have on your page, it is wonderful that the American Legions and the VFWs and a lot of other homes and community centers do allow you to have meetings there, but don't overwhelm your page with their content, their events, their menus, their karaoke night or something like that. So I just wanted to touch upon that, because that is also something I do see a lot on a detachment level, that it's wonderful to cross post and help promote those that are helping you out with a meeting space, but please watch that you don't overwhelm your page, because it's your page. Just, make sure you're using it properly. So I do have one hand raised right now. Go ahead, Ed, you have the floor. Nobody is on deck. Go ahead.
Thanks a lot. And thanks for reminding me how to get to do the raise at hand. One of the things you want to do with the page too is you can set an automatic response. So soon as someone sends you a message, they get a message back. Thanks for getting a hold of us. Someone will get back to you shortly. And then it gives you time to catch up with that and make sure that you're engaged with them.
That is a very good comment for those that understand how to do an automatic response. If not, again, contact one of us, because Facebook monitors your response ratio to your Facebook messages, and it actually shows up on your home page. If you're slow response, Facebook will say that, which means people are less likely to interact with you.
Wonderful comments. I mean, everybody's sharing what works for them. Again, what works for you might not work for the next person, but these are things that I need you all, and we're going to go ahead and wind it up. But please go ahead and take this information back. If you do not have a detachment Facebook page yet, consider one. The National Public Relations Committee always makes themselves available. If you don't have anybody that is on Facebook and can't be an administrator, that's where your associate members come in handy. Get those grandkids, sign them up. Go ahead and put them on as an admin. We know that they're using social media, at least 99% of what I know. So these are options. Maybe you can even, consider hitting up a couple of high schools and say, hey, somebody want to help me get started? That's public service. They would love that stuff. So again, I thank you all for sharing your feedback, your testimonials. Ray is, doing a great job. You don't have to put in as much time as Ray, 5 hours a day and upwards of thousands of, posts that he looks at. But you need to focus on just yours. Make sure your content is relevant. Somebody typed in the chat that they put veterans information, the PACT Act information, share that kind of stuff. If you have no content to share, you are welcome to go ahead and go to the National Marine Corps League Facebook page and share our content. At least you're keeping the algorithm alive. If you have nothing to post that day, just go ahead and share something that we have, but make sure you include a little bit of your words as well. Don't just share. Sharing it's not really helping that algorithm. So when you click the share button, put some of your own verbiage in there. Also re-emphasize the hashtags. These things are working, they're working for us, and these are the secrets that we're sharing with you. One last call for any questions during this recorded session. Keep in mind, when I stop the recording, it then turns into social time, but I want all the relevant questions that someone else might be able to learn something from, or any feedback, anything you want to add. With no virtual hands being seen at this time, I am going to ask my Senior Vice Commandant, if he is still on board, to offer some closing remarks.
Well, thank you, Victoria. Ray, thank you very much. It was a great presentation. I think everybody learned a little bit. Some of us probably even learned a little bit more than others about Facebook, how to use all of its applications. Again, thank you very much. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. And check out a Veterans Hospital. There's somebody there right now. They might need a little helping hand. Reach out to them and help out for the holidays. Something like that. Let them know they're not forgotten. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that closing remark. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. Again, nobody needs to log off at this time. We can stay here and chat a little bit longer. But at this time, from the Public Relations Committee, from our home to yours, have a wonderful holiday. I do close out every single Commandant's Corner by reminding you we do this monthly on a recorded session, and we sometimes have an unplugged version where we are not recording. The next one will be sent down to the Board of Trustees, and that is scheduled. I don't have it sitting in front of me, but you'll start seeing that information flowing the 1st of January. We will see you next year at midwinter. At this time, I would like to say good night, Chesty, wherever you are, and have a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.